মার্চেন্ডাইজিং, যেহেতু মার্চেন্ডাইজার হিসেবে আপনারা কাজ করবেন, এ কারণে মার্চেন্ডাইজিং এর কথা বলেছি। We are dealing with costing for a merchandiser, and maybe you have got the idea. Sales price equals manufacturing cost plus non-manufacturing cost plus markup. And you can also calculate the sales price in another way, managerial way, variable cost plus fixed cost plus profit or markup. So here it is given as the absorption system, and we have shown you that direct materials, direct labor, manufacturing overhead, other expenses are here. These have added to calculate the price 3.10. And this job cost sheet also shown before you, how to prepare the job cost sheet. And direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead, these three components are known as the total cost. That means product cost, and divided by number of quantity of orders. You will get the per unit cost. Now, cost calculation is not all. You have to add some profit. So here it says that there are two ways of adding markup. One is known as cost plus pricing or markup pricing, and another is profit on cost. Here is this is very easy components. Here the order quantity is 5,000, fixed cost is 4,500, per unit fixed cost is 0.90. 4,500 divided by 5,000, 0.90, and variable cost is 3.10, and unit cost is 4. Unit cost means total cost divided by number of units. And your target is 20% profit on unit cost. So 20% on $4 is 0.80, and it is sales price. So calculating sales price based on profit on unit cost is clear. Now you can also calculate. You can also calculate sales price on sales price, and the profit will be on your sales price. So for example, in our previous example, we charged 20% on unit cost. Now our issue is 20% on sales price. That means this is the sales price. You will charge 20% on it. But how can you charge 20% beforehand? Because you are going to set the sales price. So the system is that cost divided by 1 minus profit rate. So here the cost is $4. You will divide by 1 minus profit rate, 20% profit. 1 minus 0.2. So not this one. This is 1 means 100%. So 1 minus 0.20 is your profit rate. Then you will get your sales price. So you can forget $1. Your unit cost is $4. So can you try with your cell phone? Unit cost is $4. $4 divided by 1 minus 0.2. That means 0.8. 4 divided by 0.8 equals 5. Here the explanation is that your profit will be on sales, 20% of sales. But in our previous case, this is 20% on unit cost. So directly we are charging on our unit cost. 20% on unit cost is 0.8. Here 20% on sales price. So cost divided by 1 minus 20% equals $5. Is it clear how to calculate profit on cost and profit on sales price? One is profit on cost directly, and another is profit on sales price, even though you do not know what is the sales price. So how will calculate profit on sales price? Cost divided by 1 minus profit rate. This is how you can calculate the profit on sales price. Now, if variable cost increases, what will be the impact? If variable cost increases, these are the variable cost. Fabric cost has increased to $2.6. So your unit cost will be 5 and your sales price will be $6 at 20% profit on unit cost, 20% on $5. And if the fixed cost increases, then you will calculate the per unit fixed cost, and the per unit fixed cost is 4.9 and 20% on profit, 5.88. So the basic principle is that whether you are charging profit on cost or whether you are charging profit on sales price. Now, if you know the fixed cost and variable costs, you can calculate the break-even point. So now the issue is that you are going to learn about the managerial accounting, cost management in textiles. So in managerial accounting, you cannot calculate break-even point without having the distinction between the variable cost and fixed cost. Here your fixed cost is 4,500 and your variable cost is $3.1. So how you can calculate break-even point? To calculate the break-even point, you have to calculate the contribution margin. And what is the definition of contribution margin? Contribution margin means sales price minus the variable cost. Sales price here means unit sales price. And what is the sales price here? Here the buyer's sales price is $4. And your variable cost is $3.11. So 4 minus 3.10 is 0.90. 0.90 is your contribution margin. You can also calculate the contribution margin ratio. How to calculate contribution margin ratio? CM is 0.9 divided by sales price. CM divided by sales price, $4. So 0.9 divided by 4 is equals to 0.23. It is known as the contribution margin ratio. Contribution margin ratio. Now, you can calculate break-even point either in quantity, how many units you need to sell to be break-even, or you can calculate the break-even point in amount value, how much dollar, how much BDT you need to sell to break-even. To calculate how many units you must sell to break-even, you will divide fixed cost by the contribution margin. Here the fixed cost is 4,500 and divided by contribution margin is 0.90. It is 5,000. So at least you have to sell 5,000. Otherwise, your company will be the loser. So you cannot accept the order at $4 because the quantity, sorry, the fixed cost. So, yes. So what you have to do to be break even, you have to sell at least 5,000 at $4. Otherwise, you will not be profitable. So at 5,000 quantity, if you sell 5,000 at $4, you will be in break even. And you can calculate dollar, how much dollar you have to sell to break even. So for example, here, fixed cost will be divided by contribution margin ratio, 0.23. Fixed cost was 4,500 divided by contribution margin ratio, 0.23, $20,000. So here you can sell $20,000, and if you can sell your product at $3, if the buyer is offering $3, say for example, $3, then you cannot sell 5,000. What you have to do? You have to say that you must buy 3 divided by 20,000. 3 divided by 20,000 is around 7,000, isn't it? So at $3, you must sell 20,000. You must sell 7,000 units, or to be break even, you have to sell 20,000 equivalent products. So as a manager, you have to use variable cost and fixed cost to calculate break-even point. Break-even can be in units, can be in dollar value. So CBP analysis, you will read it, the chapter. CBP analysis will tell you more details about the different variations, changes in price. So here, if the sales price is $3.5, then you have to sell 11,250 units, or you have to sell $39,375 to break even, because the sales price has reduced. So when you are setting the sales price, you can divide in this way, that we have already discussed this portion in our absorption costing and variable costing, if you can remember. And here, variable manufacturing overhead, fixed manufacturing overhead, operating cost includes variable sales and marketing. Now you are subdividing variable sales and marketing costs, variable administrative cost, fixed sales and marketing cost, fixed administrative costs. So your direct materials cost is 1.6, your 0.5 fabric trims and assembly to produce that particular product is 8.5, and labor cost per minute is 9, and your direct labor cost is 8.5 multiplied by 0.09, and variable manufacturing cost, fixed manufacturing overhead cost is here, and estimated yearly fixed cost is 40,000. So variable fixed cost calculated by 40,000 divided by number of units produced. 1 million. So for 40,000 divided by 1 million is 0.04. And variable marketing cost, variable administrative cost, and fixed marketing cost. Fixed marketing cost of the company is 30,000. So 30,000 is divided by 1 million. Fixed administrative cost is 30,000, which will be divided by 1 million, 0.03, 0.03. So unit cost will be 3.10. Sum of direct materials, direct labor, fixed variable cost, and fixed cost, total 3.110. And if sales price, what is the sales price? If 10% profit on cost, so 10% on 3.10 is 0.331 or 0.3. So 3.10 plus 0.3 equals profit is 0.31, 3.41. And sales price, if 10% profit on sales, 10% profit on sales, how to calculate this sales price? Cost divided by 1 minus profit rate. Cost is 3.10 divided by 1 minus 10% equals 90%. So 3.10 divided by 0.90 will be equal to 3.44. So you can calculate the sales price by applying profit on cost or by applying profit on sales. So this is how you can calculate the per unit cost, and ultimately what we are dealing here, we are dealing with determining sales price using variable cost, fixed cost plus profit. So variable cost, fixed cost, and then you will calculate certain profit on cost or on sales price. And then when you are producing large quantity of product, your fixed cost will be minimum when you are producing at your 100% capacity. This is known as the economies of scale. This is known as economies of scale. When you are producing more, your per unit cost will decrease. Maybe you are thinking that how the per unit cost will decrease. The example may make it clear how you can calculate per unit cost. So for example here, the variable cost of a production factory is $10 and fixed cost is $100,000. The production capacity is 5,000. Calculate the average cost and draw a cost curve showing 1,000 units production, 2,500 units production, 5,000 unit production, and 6,000 units production. Assume that producing beyond 100% capacity requires a more production facility. What does this mean? Your production capacity. Say for an example, ধরেন আপনার একটা গার্মেন্টস ফ্যাক্টরি আছে, সেখানে আপনি 5,000 পর্যন্ত প্রোডাক্ট তৈরি করতে পারেন। তাহলে যখন 6,000 প্রোডাক্ট তৈরি করবেন, তাহলে এই ফ্যাক্টরিতে কি করতে পারবেন? আপনাকে আরেকটা ফ্যাক্টরি ভাড়া নিতে হবে। তার মানে আপনার ফিক্সড কস্ট আবার বেড়ে যাবে। ধরেন এই 5,000 প্রোডাক্ট তৈরি করার জন্য যে ফ্যাক্টরি আপনার আছে, সেটার ভাড়া 100,000, ফিক্সড কস্ট ইজ 100,000। কাজেই আবার যখন আরেকটা ফ্যাক্টরি ভাড়া নেবেন, তখন আরো 100,000 ফিক্সড কস্ট বেড়ে যাবে। এখন দেখেন যে আপনি units, 1,000 units, 2,500, 5,000, and 6,000 units. Variable cost is same, $10. Fabric cost, $10, $10, $10 per unit variable cost. Total variable cost 1000 multiplied by 10, 2500 multiplied by 25, 10, 5000 multiplied by 10, 6000 multiplied by 10. And fixed cost is also 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. But when you are going beyond your capacity is 5,000. যখনই ক্যাপাসিটি 5,000 থেকে বেশি প্রোডাকশন করতে যাবেন তখন আপনার ফিক্সড কস্ট ডাবল হয়ে যাবে। কারণ কি এরকম আরেকটা বিল্ডিং আপনাকে ভাড়া নিতে হবে। 100,000 will be 200,000। এখন পার ইউনিট ফিক্সড কস্ট এটা ডিভাইড বাই 1000, 100,000 ডিভাইড বাই 25,000, 100,000 ডিভাইড বাই 5,000। এখানে গিয়ে পার ইউনিট ফিক্সড কস্ট উইল ইনক্রিজ। 200,000 ডিভাইড বাই 6,000, 33। এবার অ্যাভারেজ কস্ট 10 প্লাস 100, 110, 10 plus 40, 50, 10 plus 20, 30, 10 plus 33, 43। So দেখেন এই যে at 100% capacity your average cost is minimum 30,000। 15 more minutes. So average cost is 110, 50, 30. If you draw in a curve, you will find that at 5,000 units, your average cost is minimum. Average cost is minimum. Exceeding 5,000 units, your average cost is again increasing. So when you are producing at 100% capacity, your average cost is minimum. And when you are producing beyond 100% capacity, your fixed cost increasing and your average cost will again increase. So as a production manager, as a operations manager, as a merchandiser, you have to take order equivalent to your maximum capacity, maximum capacity. Then your per unit average cost will be minimum and you can offer low cost product. So merchandisers can ultimately negotiate by setting price in absorption costing system or they can use variable costing system. And the benefits of variable costing system is that you can calculate the break-even point. Here, using this system, you cannot calculate variable. You cannot calculate break-even point. So if you are interested to calculate break-even point, you have to apply variable costing. So maybe you have got the idea.